Hi, I'm MonikaCzerveniak and I'm here with Fearless Cooking. Today on our menu we have vegan yam gnocchis. Very hard to say that. So we're ready to take the yams out of the oven. Now we have to peel them while they're still hot. So one way you can do it, it comes off easy. Now you could do these in the microwave, but it's totally against my religion to put any food in the microwave. But if you want to do that, that's fine. The most important thing is that they are dry. They need to be dry. If they're moist, then you're having trouble adding flour and getting it away. What you're going to need now is a ricer. If you don't have one of those ricers, don't worry about it. You can also take a fork and mash it all up. The other tool, you will need something to cut. Gnocchis can either be this tool or this tool, whatever you have in the house, or you can just use a knife. What we're adding is nutritional yeast and flour. This is gluten-free flour, but you can also use any all-purpose flour. A regular gnocchi, you would put in about 3 to 4 eggs, depending. About these 2 yams, I count about 1 yam for 1 person. So there's 2 of us, so two yams is good enough. And you would need about 2 eggs, beaten eggs, if you were not to make vegan ones. They'll turn out just fantastic being vegan style. Anyway, we are going to put it through the ricer now. It's a little bit hot, but you want it to be hot. They have to be hot in order to be riced. And of course they have to be soft all the way and dry. So all you do is do this, scrape this down for the next load, and again. Don't be too much in, because unless you have some muscles. And this way you have no lumps, and it's easy to then add the flour. So now we're adding about a spoon of nutritional yeast, which is a vegetarian thing. It's also, I use it in a lot of my dishes. It's very good for you. It's got lots of vitamins. And now I'm also going to put some flour in. How much flour? Well, start off with a little bit, couple of spoons. I'm also putting a little salt in. Be careful about the salt. You don't want too much, because nutritional yeast has already a lot of flavors. And then just start mixing this up. You do not need a color coordinated spatula if you don't have it. That's quite all right. So we're mixing this up into a dough form. It's a little bit messy. You will see. You have to continue putting flour in. And once we have a manageable dough, we will put it on the counter and work there. I'm almost there. Now you can do the same thing with potatoes. You can do it with cauliflower. We can do it with squash. The most important thing is that your vegetables are dry. If they're not dry, you're going to have a heck of a time. But you have to keep adding flour, always a little bit at a time. Once you have too much, your gnocchis are going to get very doughy tasting, and you want them to be fluffy, not stuffy. I'm going to continue adding some more flour. It is a feeling. You need to be feeling how much flour you have to put in. There is, you can say 2 cups, 3 cups, it all depends on the size of your yams. So this is a dish that requires a little bit of feelings. A little bit more. And then I will put it on the table. So what I'm doing is you just put a little flour on the floor, on the counter. And because there are no eggs in it, nothing is binding it other than the flour and a little bit of the nutritional yeast. So it's very gooey kind of situation now. But if you like to play with your food, this is beautiful. I certainly like to play with my food. Now it's starting to get manageable into a dough. I can feel it. You can see it. Just don't be too rough on it. Just slightly and lightly play with it. So this one's starting to look good. You see it? I can manage it now. That's about all I'm going to do. Push it a little bit away because I'm going to be working here. Now you can cut it in several pieces. I do about 4. You can do 5. It doesn't really matter. Leave your gucked up hands like this. It's easier to manage. If the dough doesn't roll with your hands, you're either too dry or not wet enough. Then you just take a little bit put your fingertips in the water, then you can manage it. Now we're making a long sausage here, depending on how big I want them. Now all I'm going to do is make little pillows out of it. Preferably the same size. You want to have them cook evenly. Okay. And that's the first punch. Now we're taking the next one and keep rolling very lightly. Put a pressure on this. So that's more than plenty for 2 people, because you're also having a sauce. So the water is boiling. We're going to put the gnocchis in a few minutes, but I just wanted to start the sauce. And what I like to do is with the sage, let's just put it in the hot oil. This way, some beautiful flavors coming out. Really nice and crunchy. You can smell it already. You can also put walnuts in this sauce if you like. That goes lovely with that. You can do any kind of sauce. That's all we need. I'm going to put my shallots in. Give it a couple of tosses. And now we can actually put the gnocchis into the water. So now our gnocchi, as soon as they're done cooking, it'll take only a few minutes, they will come to the surface. And then it'll basically let you know that they're ready to be taken out. In the meantime, I added the mushrooms and the shallot. And we're going to add a little bit of pepper. And a little bit of salt. Give it a few more minutes. I like to all pop them up all at the same time if possible. Now we'll just take our gnocchis out. I like them rather organic, instead machine made. Out of 2 yams, there's quite a lot. So for a family of 4 large yams is all you really need for a meal. Now our sauce, I'm not putting anything else in there other than the gnocchis in it and the sage. I'm not making a sauce as such. You can also use a old boring tomato sauce if you like. You can use a pesto sauce, a butter sauce, a brown butter sauce, anything you like. We just happen to like mushrooms. This water you can use for stock, you can use it for sauces. Just use it for anything in your cooking. Don't throw it out. We will have a water crisis sooner or later. So I'm just adding it now to my sauce. I will add the cheese on the plate. I don't want a really cheesy sauce on this. Or a creamy sauce, sage. And now we put the cheese on. A little bit of parsley. Some sage left over, fried before. Here we are. Homemade gnocchis. Delicious. If you enjoyed this video and got a kick out of it, maybe you want to try it at home. Maybe you want to be fearless in your kitchen. Give it a shot. Let me know. And don't forget to like and push some buttons. I would really appreciate that. That would make my work much easier. Don't forget to be fearless in your kitchen. We'll see you later.